Hello, welcome to my radio and television station, and I'm Cao Trí. Here comes local news. The Vietnam Textile and Garment Association forecasts that the textile and garment industry will remain difficult at least until the end of this year or early next year. It is forecasted that the textile and garment export this year can only reach about $40 billion, down about 9 to 10% compared to the previous year. But there is also a positive signal from the market. Many businesses say the worst time of textile and garments has passed. Experts say that in order to catch up with new development trends, enterprises need to be proactive in resources, finance, strengthen governance, as well as minimize costs. To improve competitiveness, textile and garment enterprises need to strengthen development in depth, participate more deeply in global textile and garment supply chain, especially focus on stages that bring high added value, not merely processes as the present. Vietnam is ranked 7th in the coconut production in the world and 4th in export in the Asia-Pacific region. The U.S. official approval to import Vietnamese fresh coconuts is an opportunity for coconut industry to target a billion-dollar export stream. Vietnamese fresh coconuts have entered the U.S. market since 2017, but in 2021 were suspended because of technical barriers. The return this time to the U.S., a market that is dominated by Thailand, will bring great opportunities for Vietnamese coconut to have 50% market share in the near future. Not only the U.S. market, but Vietnam coconut is also negotiating to open the Chinese market and is expected to approve from now until the end of the year. If succeed, the billion-dollar turnover Vietnamese coconut is no longer far away things. Increase electronic prescribing connect data with National Prescription System by September 30th. This is the requirement of the Department of Health for affiliated units and non-public medical examination and treatment establishments in the province. According to data on the National Prescription System, Đồng Nai has 635 medical examination and treatment facilities. More than 2,400 medical practitioners have been granted connection codes, and nearly 2 million prescriptions have been claimed on the system. But no medical examination and treatment facilities have sent electronic prescription to patients. The Department of Health urgently requests them to eliminate electronic drug prescriptions, register, connect data with National Prescription System, and complete by September 30th. After the above time, establishments that do not comply with regulation will be fined. At the 11th ASEAN-US Summit in Indonesia, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris affirmed Washington's enduring commitment to Southeast Asia and more broadly to Indo-Pacific region. Ms. Harris emphasized that ASEAN is the center of the U.S. commitment to the Indo-Pacific region. She added that the U.S. and ASEAN vision for the region is very closely linked. She also assured ASEAN leaders that U.S. commitment to the region is enormous, demonstrated by appointing Ambassador Yohannes Abraham, a close advisor to President Joe Biden, as the focal point for promoting cooperation with ASEAN. Kamala announced that in an effort to optimize cooperation with ASEAN, the United States plans to build a first ASEAN Center in Washington to create favorable conditions for ASEAN activities in the U.S., as well to help promote exchanges between people, businesses, and academic institutions. World leaders will attend a group of 20 developed and emerging economies G20 summit in New Delhi, India, later this week. Some leaders have planned to meet in person ahead of the event. The White House said U.S. President Joe Biden and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold bilateral talks on September 7th. They are likely to coordinate policies before official session of the G20 summit begins on September 8th. The war in Ukraine and climate change will be issues discussed during the two-day session. India wants the summit to reach a joint communique, including the issue of Ukraine. However, it can be difficult for leaders to reach consensus. The United States is trying to build closer ties with India to counter China's growing global influence. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and goodbye.